So you're thinking of living in Cedar City, Utah, but you want to know a little bit more about the town? Well, today I'm going to walk you through my pros and cons, according to me, somebody that is not a native to Cedar City, Utah. Let's get to it. All right, if this is your first time to this channel, we talk about everything there is to know about living in Cedar City, Utah and the surrounding areas. So if that's something that interests you, go ahead, like, subscribe, and tap that bell for notifications so you can make sure you stay up to date with our market. If you are thinking of living in Cedar City, Utah, or making a change, my name is Elizabeth Prisby. I'm with Stratum Real Estate Group. I get calls, texts, emails from people just like you every single day looking to make a move. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, go ahead, contact me. My information is down in the description. I would be more than happy to help you make that move. All right, let's get to those pros and cons. So before I get started, let's be clear. These are pros and cons according to me and what I have found since I moved to Cedar City. And let me be honest, I moved to Cedar City a year and a half ago. I have been visiting here for for my entire life really, but my husband is from here. So we visited here a lot for family and then finally moved back here. This is where we've always wanted to be. So in the last year and a half, this is from someone that lived, born and raised their entire life in Las Vegas. So I think this is helpful for people that are moving from other places to hear somebody that is not a native to Cedar City, Utah. These are pros and cons according to me and what I have found since moving to Cedar City, Utah. Number one pro. The first thing that I noticed was the Four Seasons. Four Seasons is a pro for me because remember, I came from Las Vegas and we had hot and hotter and super hot and maybe a little cool off in the winter time, which in reality I felt like was really cold because that's all I ever knew. But now that I'm in Cedar City, I actually get to experience four seasons. I do feel like they're mild compared to what some places might see, but we are experiencing 4 different seasons here. There's a winter. We've actually had what I hear is a pretty intense winter for Cedar City. There's been a lot of snow this year. And so I think it's beautiful. I absolutely love having the snow. That's a pro for me. Maybe it's not for some of you. Our springs are beautiful. However, con here, allergies seem to actually hit me here. I didn't actually feel them before I moved here, but I noticed when we first moved here, we kind of moved here in the end of spring, beginning of summer, and I would see all this white stuff falling everywhere. I mean, it was blowing everywhere. I didn't even see trees around and there was white stuff everywhere. Well, it was pollen. I just didn't have pollen in Las Vegas. So allergies do seem to be a little bit more severe here than I'm used to. However, it might not be a pro for you. It might not be a con, or it might be a con for you. I don't know. For me, the Four Seasons are worth the pollen and allergies because the summers are not that hot to me. They feel pretty mild compared to what I'm used to. We do get up into 100 degrees, but I've sat on a turf soccer field in 120 degrees, so it really doesn't feel that bad to me. Fall is absolutely beautiful. So the Four Seasons to me is a pro. Now, how do I put this? Do you ever notice that sometimes your greatest strength is also your greatest weakness? I feel like that happened a lot for me in the pros and cons here, because even though I absolutely love that there's 4 seasons in Cedar City, Utah, you can also get 4 seasons in one day, which kind of feels like a con. You can wake up and need a parka coat, and then you head off to work or school or whatever you're here for, and by mid-morning you're like, oh, I'm hot, and you take that off. And then gets into the afternoon and you're thinking, oh man, I wish I had shorts on. And then you're right back to that parka coat in the evening. So there are some days in Cedar City that you experience 4 seasons in a day. So that would be my pro and con number 1, because sometimes our greatest strength is also our greatest weakness. Not that that's the greatest strength or weakness here, but that would be my first pro and con. The second thing that I would say that I absolutely love about Cedar City is the actual small town community. Everyone is so friendly. I'm blown away by how friendly and genuine people are here. I remember when we first moved here, we were going through a drive-through, and my son, he was 17 at the time, he said, people are so nice. They make me feel like I need to be nice. And I remember thinking, oh my goodness, it is such a good thing we moved here so that my son would learn how to be nice. So it just was a funny story, but it really is a genuine small town feel, and everyone is so friendly. If somebody's not friendly, they're likely passing through, because the people in Cedar City I have found to be so friendly, so genuine, so helpful. That is a definite pro here. All right, third pro, there are so many recreational activities to do. Within 30 minutes of Cedar City, Utah, we have lakes, we have hiking, we have snowboarding, skiing, mountain biking. Let's say you want to just take a leisurely walk. There's so many walking trails. It is very friendly in regards to recreational activities. And that has been a big pro. That's one of the main reasons why we moved here. We absolutely love the sand dunes, which we have Sand Hollow close, which is between here and St. George. Coral Pink Sand Dunes, which is outside of Kanab, Utah. That's probably closer to like an hour to hour and 30-minute drive, but I've been going there since I was a little kid, and I love it. Canaryville Falls has slot canyons, and that is just so beautiful. I mean, everything that you could possibly want to see in the wonders of the world seem to be within a short drive from Cedar City, Utah. So that has been a big pro, and one of the big things that made us want to move here. So my fourth pro would have to be all of the festivals. Again, I came from a larger city, and coming to a smaller town, I was a little bit worried that I'd be bored, and I hate to admit that, but I've never felt so a part of a community. And we have so many festivals between the Shakespearean Festival and the Renaissance Fair and parades. We have so many parades here, and I absolutely love them. The 4th of July parade is amazing. We have a sheep parade that's amazing, and they will shut down all of Main Street, and you take your kids out, you'll run into friends, people set up their chairs, and nobody touches the chairs. They'll set them up a whole day before, and people are just like, oh no, they put their chair there. Nobody touches them. Everyone's so friendly. I love that community feel, all of the festivals. We have not been bored at all because there really is so much to do, and it just feels safe. So that is a huge pro for us, and one of the things that that keeps us here also. We just love it. All right, my fifth pro would have to be that slower pace of life. Just really being able to take a step back and enjoy life, and just enjoy the people around you, enjoy the community, enjoy the recreation. There is truly a slower pace of life here, and there's not so much rush to get everything done all the time. With that being said, that is a huge pro. That is why we are here, to get ourselves to slow down and enjoy life instead of just working straight through, right? Like I said before, sometimes our greatest weakness or our greatest strength is also our greatest weakness. That's where this is another one. So this would be my second con. That slower pace comes with a cost. Nobody's in a hurry. And that was hard to get used to. You can sit in a drive-through for maybe 30 to 40 minutes. It is not fast food. So, but with that being said, that's the charm. Because people aren't in a hurry, they take the time to get to know you, to serve you, to just bring you in as family. And so again, it's that greatest strength and greatest weakness, and they work together, right? So it just depends on if you feel that's a pro or a con. Again, these are pros and cons about living in Cedar City, Utah that are according to me. All right, so I've given you 2 cons. I know they weren't really in order, but I kind of had to lump them with the pro. So I would say the third con would have to be Cedar City has grown so much in the last few years. People are starting to realize what an amazing place it is to live. A lot of people have migrated here, and it truly is just a beautiful place to live. So, so wonderful. But our roads and our infrastructure were not prepared for the people coming into Cedar City, Utah. So right now that's a con, but I know the city of Cedar City, that sounded weird when I said that. I know they're working on it. I know that's something that is on their mind and that they are trying to correct so that traffic flows more easily during the day on Main Street. Now, I will say, one of the things I've noticed is Cedar City shuts down in the evening. That might not seem like a big deal to anyone else, but when you come from a town that lives 24 hours a day, I mean, it's a 24-hour town, it's so nice to know that in the evening, come around 8 o'clock, Main Street's pretty empty. I mean, you'll see some traffic, but if you wanted to go out and walk and see the lights during the holidays, it really, it quiets down and it's nice. So that's one of the things that is a con, is the infrastructure, but we do still quiet down in the evenings. All right, so the fourth thing that I would say is probably a con would be the lack of shopping. We have everything that we need, right? Everything that you need to live comfortably, but we don't have a lot in the way of, we don't have a mall, right? If you wanted to just go and shop all day with your girlfriends or boyfriends or family, whatever. I'm looking at it from my perspective as a woman. I would be going to the mall to shop all day with my girlfriends. Or my daughter, she loves to do that. So not a lot of shopping here in town. However, we do have St. George that's just a 45 to 50 minute drive south, and they have a wonderful mall, lots of shops there, and it's kind of a nice little getaway. The weather is different in St. George, surprisingly. It's not a very long drive for weather that's probably sometimes 20 to 30 degrees warmer than it is in Cedar City. So it's kind of a fun little trip. So could be a con, could be a pro, up to you. If you like doing that on a regular basis, it would be a con for you. All right, I would say my fifth con would probably have to be work. And I don't know if that's a con. It depends on what you do. I've noticed a lot of people live in Cedar City, Utah because they love it, because it's beautiful, because the community is so nice, because it's a safe place to live, because it's so close to recreational activities. However, it may not bring the pay that you need or the job that you need. There are a lot of people that live here that commute to work in other places. I'm one of them. My husband is still driving to Las Vegas for work. But that's how important it is to us to have our family here in Cedar City, Utah. It's a wonderful place to raise children and to have a family. Now, that doesn't mean we don't have work here. We actually have a much lower unemployment rate than the national average. I believe the national average unemployment rate right now is at 6%, and we're at 3%, so we're half of that. So we actually have a lot of employment opportunities here. It just depends on what specifically you're looking for. So again, that could be a pro and a con depending on where you are at. If you're in that retirement age and you don't need to work anymore, or let's say you're looking for a second home, Cedar City is the right place for you to be because it's so beautiful. It's close to, not that far a drive from Las Vegas, not that far a drive from Salt Lake City. We have an airport. I mean, it really is just a great place to live, and the pros most definitely outweigh the cons. All right, so to recap, today we went over the pros and cons of living in Cedar City, Utah. According to me, we're all different, right? But this is my perspective. This is what I found, and I still love it here. So if you are thinking of living in Cedar City, Utah, or making a change, once again, my name is Elizabeth Prisby. I'm with Stratum Real Estate Group. I am more than happy to help you make that move. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, go ahead and contact me. My information can be found below in the description. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap that bell for notifications. Have a wonderful day.